NIO rallied over 8% into their earnings. Where will this stock go in tomorrow's session? But before we get into that, there is the closing bell, guys, with the S&P rallying up over 90 points in today's session. When we take a look at the S&P futures overnight, we trended higher over 40 points, so we were looking good coming into the morning bell. And as the bell rang, we just trended higher and we just did not stop. Taking a look at it on the daily, the S&P today rallied over 85 points in these futures. The volume, however, is about half of from Friday's session. When we take a look at the SPX, coming into this week, we were expecting about 120 points of expected move. So that upper edge would take us to around 39.30. You can just see we're just about 30 points shy from that, and we're just finishing Monday's session. Our lower edge on the week was 36.91, but it appears that this is going to be a positive week after closing negative last week. We can see we're on our way to our upper edge in the SPX. As for the NASDAQ, taking a look at the NASDAQ today, it was up 2.75%. It wasn't our leading index on the day. However, it's seeing a strong bounce back from Friday's bottom. As for the Russell 2000, it was our leading index on the day, up over 3.39%. However, volume is a little concerning across all our major indices. Now, when we take a look at our Big Five today, the Big Five was up over 2%. You can just see right there, 2%. So it lagged the NASDAQ, which means other technology stocks were bidding higher. However, when we just take a look, Apple today was up over 5%. Even Tesla up over 6%, which is a good sign. You want to see these big market cap companies trending to the upside, as they'll definitely move these indexes higher. Now, when we take a look at our Big Five, it just didn't really move today. Even though it's up 2%, this is an index that I created with Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Facebook. Market cap weighted, still has some room to go higher. However, if it does reach new all-time highs, this market will definitely be breaching all-time highs as well. As for other sectors today, when we take a look at our top performer, that was the software stocks, up close to 4% today, and definitely helping boost the Russell 2000. We see technology right behind it, up 3.1%, with some nice volume coming in there today, with the financials behind it up 3.13%. Volume still lackluster, as well as XLE today up over 2.5%. Now, when we take a look at our advanced decline line, you can just see today 96 advancing, 5 on the decline side. So this is a fully correlated advanced decline line, and when we have these moments in this advanced decline line, just about everything is trending higher. You can see today our worst performing sector was the real estate sector, but all these sectors up very nice. Heading into tomorrow, it's going to be interesting to watch. Can technology, financials, and energy repeat today's performance? And if they can, this market has a lot more room to run, but just keep your eyes on what rotation does in tomorrow's session. So with all of our indexes roaring to the upside, the financials roaring to the upside, how did the bonds break down? And taking a look at these 30-year bonds, they're up 0.18%. So the bonds are slightly up with the market. It was near even. Just taking a look how it traded, it's just trying to find a floor. When we look at the volume profile, it appears this 159, 160 could be a new home for the bonds temporarily. Now we take a look at the TNX, and today the TNX was down about 1%. So the yield has fallen on these bonds. As for our volatility index, we take a look at the VIX futures, and the VIX futures were just down over 8% and continued to just crumble here. When we take a look at the VVIX sitting at a 114, heading very fast to that 110 line where it bounced off of. Looking at it intraday, it's catching a little bit of a bid here in the final minutes of trade. Could we be temporarily pulling back in tomorrow's session? That's something to keep your eyes on going into tomorrow's tape, as the VVIX is still overall relatively high. We got a nice day today in the SPX, up over 90 points on a 119 point expected move. We're just 40 points from that level. Let's take a look at the dollar, see how our commodities did, and talk a little bit about Bitcoin. Taking a look at the dollar index today, we're up 0.17%. The dollar index breaking into 91, but for the most part, nothing is really going on here in the dollar. As for crude oil, we take a look. It was down about 1.75%. So back-to-back days, we saw the sell-off on Friday in crude. How much lower can we go? We're trying to find a floor here around 60. On a volume profile, 59.60 range looks good. We'll see where crude oil goes, but the XLE today was just on fire. As for gold, we take a look at gold, and today gold was down 0.4%. Gold continues to slide. It just can't catch a bid to save its life. Taking a look at it intraday, it's at 1721, and bigger picture here, gold has been on a downtrend since reaching highs back in last August. It's being outshined by Bitcoin. Taking a look at Bitcoin today was up 5.5%, sitting slightly below 49,000. It got as low as 43,000 over the weekend, however, quickly bouncing back. Bitcoin up very strong today. Looking at it intraday, got close to 50K, but just got rejected. I would like to see some consolidating here in Bitcoin between now probably till mid-March. If we can hold this 45,000, that's a very bullish sign going forward, and all dips should continue to be bought back up. There you have it for the stock market breakdown. After being in a downtrend for about a week and a half, are the stocks ready to rebound and rally higher? As the bonds try to stabilize, we got some optimistic news out of J&J with the vaccine that came out. Is this economy starting to normalize? Will things get back to normal? With tech roaring with the financials, it will be very interesting in tomorrow's session if that can continue going strong. Tech has been whacked the past 2 weeks or so. If it can get going with financials and energy, this market has a lot more upside to go. But enough of the macro, let's take a look at our trending stock of the day, and today that was NIO. NIO was up 8.69%. With a market cap of $77.5 billion on a year to date, NIO is down close to 7%. Now, what does NIO do? Well, NIO is a pioneer in China's premier electric vehicle market, and today it was trending higher into earnings. You can just see it was a nice bid up throughout the day. Today, its CEO confirmed that it plans on entering the European market here later this year. Now, NIO had earnings after the bell, and it is moving to the upside as we speak. You can just see at $50.44. How high can NIO go? I don't know what their earnings are at the moment, but when we throw it on an expected move, the options market priced in NIO to move $4.83 this week. Now the upper edge takes us to $50.61, which we're sitting at it right now in after hours pre-earnings announcement. And if NIO's earnings are good, look for a 2 standard deviation move at 55.44. I drew a line already here for you. So if these earnings are very good, we could go as high as $55 in tomorrow's session, maybe even more, depending on how good they are. But a 2 standard deviation is a solid line to draw in the sand, so around $55, look for some resistance if these earnings are good. However, if these earnings are just horrible, you can just see on the week, 50.61 was our upper edge, 40.95, call it 41, was our lower edge. So if they are bad earnings or good earnings with bad guidance, look for as low as 41 to place some nice support for a bounce higher. But my guess is we're trending higher throughout the day. This is a stock that could potentially be knocking on the door to $55 before you know it. There you have it for the top trending stock, NIO. Did you get a chance to watch this stock in today's session? If so, where do you guys see it going in tomorrow's tape? And if you've watched this far, really appreciate it if you can hit the thumbs up button. It means a lot when you guys show some support. And if you're watching me for the first time, I do these every single day. Show some love and hit that subscribe button. It will really mean a lot to me if you guys can just hit that button. My subs have been going up little by little, and it just makes me feel good in the inside. But other than that, any comments, questions, feedback, leave it down below and I'll get back to you. But on that note, I will see you in tomorrow's session. Have a great night. Take care. Peace!